What's up, guys? Welcome back to another MESX5 video. I am basically a broken man at this point. As you can see, I am now level 300, which is the highest level you unlock things at in the game. I mean, you can go higher, but you won't unlock anything past that point. Just for the sake of this video, to get all gold gear and a gold bike, I worked it out, and if I go to the tracks, go to my favourites, it's the one that I made, I think, here. I rode this bloody circle 3,500 times around and around and around and around and around to get to that level. It was painful, you know, but we made it there. If I go to customize quickly, I believe I've done it on the 450. Which was it? Or was it 450? No, it might have been a 250. Sorry, let me hop back. 250. There we go. So I've put it on the the CR125. I mean, you can make your own decisions and if you think it's worth it or not. I personally don't. I think the gear looks a bit meh. Well, the bikes look okay. They vary from bike to bike. It's kind of like a black and gold combo. So I suppose for the purpose of this video, what should I do really? Let's load up a single event. We'll do 250 anything. I want to be my own person, otherwise there's really no point. I also got the lava/magma skin, whatever you want to call it there as well. So we've got this. Let's go to events. And someone told me there's a few settings that I need to turn off. Also, I have got flow aid off. Someone was, aid in jumping. Here we go. So I moaned in one of my other videos about it kind of slowing me down in the air. And that is the reason for that. Let's put these on medium. Still had it on very easy from doing that. So what track should we do? Let's do one of the, should we do one of the easier tracks? Or should we do the MX track? You know what? It's a Supercross game, but we'll do some motocross involved in here instead. How about that? Nice to mix it up. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even sure I know how to turn right anymore. I've been turning left for hours and hours and hours. I think it took me like maybe 8-ish hours or so. Maybe a little bit less, actually. Because I've got 11 hours total gameplay right now, but I know a lot of it was with the game open whilst editing a video. So we'll see how this goes. You can't really upgrade the CR125 much at all, because there's no custom exhaust for it or anything like that. You just kind of get stock and that's it. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it handles and how it stacks up against the AI. I mean, it looks a little bit better in game. It's a little bit brighter. Not sure about the sound. It does sound better than the YZ125 did in my other video, though. I'm not going to lie, it does sound a little bit better. And it's just, I'm not sure how it would kind of work under the lights in the stadium. You know, they tend to be a little bit darker than outdoors. But, I mean, on the surface, it's bright, but you can see from the rear fender, you know, it looks a bit mustardy. Definitely not worth it by any means. I've tried to make some of the other parts of the bikes, like the spokes and the grips and handlebars and stuff. I've tried to make them as close to gold as I can as well, but I feel like they've ended up coming out a little bit flat and mustardy. But you know what? It's not too bad. I won't lie. I'm already in like the quarter to half a lap that I've done so far, having more fun on a nationals track than I do in any of the Supercross tracks. There is something... Oh my god. There is something about this game that I cannot get my head around. It just doesn't feel natural. I don't feel like you can get a flow going around the track. I'm not sure it's just to do with the air physics and stuff like that, and can't really like pitch the bike in the air how you want. This is very dark. Like, this part of the track is so dark. Yeah, from what I've been reading online, other people's thoughts on the game, from looking at my own comments section, I feel like everyone's in the same boat. You know, I mean, majority of us that watch this channel, at least, we're all into like the more simulator type games, so MX Simulator or MX Bikes, and the games, these just don't really, they don't fill that hole. They don't satisfy what we're looking for. And I know that some people might really enjoy them. Some people, it's all you have, you know, because you're console players rather than PC. It's so difficult to go and play those amazing games, like I said, like Sim or MX Bikes, and then come and play this. It feels like a step backwards. And to someone that grew up on games like Reflex and Alive, also being on console, you know, it's only in the last couple of years that I've been a PC person. I just feel like they're just going backwards. Graphics are one thing, you know. Some people, like, they live and die over the graphics of a game, but let's be honest, we're motocross fans, you know. We want it to feel like we're riding a motorbike. And I thought I can't remember who it was, but someone explained it quite well in the fact that if you're looking at the gameplay, it doesn't look like the bike's ever on the track, you know. It looks like it's always floating above it. It looks like the track is rotating underneath the bike. You're never kind of sat in a rut or anything, you're just kind of skimming the surface. And I had a look at the Steam reviews of this game earlier, and oddly enough, it seems to be pretty 50-50. Like, some people actually really enjoy it, and then others, to be fair, most of the comments of the people that dislike it do seem to be people that enjoy like MX Bikes and MX Simulator as well. So I feel like there's definitely two different communities, and unfortunately, as much as we want something that is a little bit more realistic and has a bit better physics, I think for the casual player, the casual consumer of like motocross games in general, I feel like this is kind of what we're stuck with, because I can't imagine like a AAA title making a game with hard, like more realistic and harder physics, purely on the basis of I don't think everyone wants to kind of sit down and take maybe 20-30 hours to be able to do a lap without crashing. You know, if you have played MX Bikes, you know how and MX Sim, you know how difficult it is to start off with. You just kind of end up tiptoeing your way around the track for the most part until you finally get some sort of muscle memory down and you work things out, and the setups are a lot more in depth than this game as well. I mean, I haven't touched setups yet, but I don't feel like I need to on this game. You know, I just get to ride around no problem. So it's funny enough actually that I'm kind of slating it so far. But this is as far from motocross, or as far from supercross as you can get really on this game. You know, I'm on a very old CR125. I'm on a motocross track as well. Yeah, it's the most fun experience I've had so far. It feels 10 times better than any supercross track I've ridden. So maybe they just need to scrap things. Maybe like, I know that Milestone copy and paste a lot, but maybe I just need to stick to more MXGP games. Well, I absolutely hated the physics on MXGP as well, so kind of stuck in a hole, you know, because sometimes I'll... Obviously, my job mostly is to play MX Bikes. You know, it's what I grew the channel on. It's a game that I do enjoy, but you get it every now and then where you come home from work and you're like, you know what? I don't fancy MX Bikes today. I want to play something a little bit different. But we don't really have that. We haven't got that second option of games that we can enjoy, especially in this regards. I mean, I've not even started the career mode yet because it just doesn't excite me. It doesn't look like it's going to excite me. I mean, I've watched other people play it. You know, I've watched Kellen do the futures bit, for example, and I don't know, it doesn't appeal to me too much. So I'm not sure where I stand at this point on these games. It's fun for maybe a couple hours when you first get it, and then I feel like you've kind of done everything by that point. An actual story might be nice, you know, like you got games like NBA 2K where you have choices and it means things and you kind of develop as a player, and you could say that on this game you develop as a rider with the training and such, but nobody, like, it's not really realistic to say everybody, as soon as they turn a certain age, they're just absolutely amazing on a motorbike and they can go and compete at a high level. You know, it'd be nice to get some like really early on races, like motocross stuff involved, and even like amateur, like proper amateur races where you have to kind of work your way through, and even going as far back as maybe riding an 85, you know, before you move up to the big bikes, and then choosing what team you want to be sponsored with at that point to kind of help you develop yourself and grow. And I imagine there's a lot that they can do, but at the same time, I feel for the developers a little bit, because at the end of the day, they're like the worker bees. You know, they get told what to do and they just have to follow instructions and meet deadlines. And I imagine that trying to pump these games out every single year is no easy task. And, you know, Milestone's a big company. They have more than just this game that they work on each year. So I can't imagine that the team that makes this game is actually very big in general. And then you go and compare it to like MX Simulator that has one person made it, got JLV, and then you've got MX Bikes, which is like two people. I believe it's Snap and Perboso as well. And they've just managed to make something so much better. Granted, they've had a longer period of time to do so. You know, I mean, MX Sim's coming up to 15 years at this point. MX Bikes is, I want to say, maybe 10, 11-ish, maybe a tiny bit more. So they've had that time to kind of continuously grow and be worked on. But even just from a physics point of view, how can 1 and 2 people make a motocross game with like better, more realistic, more entertaining and rewarding physics system than a AAA company that get all the proper licensing and stuff? And that's the issue I've got as well, is these games, they hold all the licensing, so they get to use all the like realistic things on the base version of their game, whereas in our simulator games we don't get any of that. You know, we have to use fake bikes and fake gear and stuff, and it's only through the use of like mods and community backed things that we get to kind of replicate our real life stuff and make it feel a bit more real. And I can't imagine, I know it's never going to happen, because that's just the way the world is. It's the way big companies work. We're never going to get a nice combination of the two where we get graphics like these on a game that actually plays and feels like you're riding a motocross bike. Oh, nice. I've got an accomplishment down there. You can't see it. I've got the Steam overlay off. But that was medium difficulty on a very average bike. Like, very underperforming bike, and that was very, very easy. So I didn't expect it to be like that. So I do apologise. It might have been a little bit boring just watching me out front, like winning the entire time. But yeah, you know what? That wasn't bad whatsoever. And to think that I literally just played the opposite of what this game is meant to be, you know, literally motocross on a bike you're not really meant to ride, it's kind of disgusting how it's the best that the game has felt. I can't imagine I'll do a whole bunch more videos on this. Maybe if some DLC comes out at some point, I might cover it. But just from a day-to-day point of view, I'm going to stick to the MX Simulator and MX bikes, and I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But I hope you've enjoyed the video regardless. If you did, please do drop a like. I would really, really appreciate it, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Have a lovely rest of the day, wherever it is that you guys are up to, and until I catch you in the next video, peace.
My tent way too damn dark, laugh in your face like man dark. Came a long way from the bad days way back, had to burn down that landmark. Seen some things I ain't really want to see, it's all good, that's what made me me. Now who would I be if I had it easy? Used to break down, now I'm in a 350, like whoa. I've been laying way too low, had to switch up and change my flow, cause I'm back from the block, had to bust some rocks and dust off the dust to get back in the box. Now why you wanna